Guys, what I wanted to do in this video is a comparison of the Arken Optics SH4J Gen 2 that is setting on my Ruger American Gen 2 rifle to the Vortex Optics the Crossfire 2. This is setting on my Ruger American Predator. Both of these rifles are chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. I've got a video comparison of these rifles over on my channel. Go over and check it out once you watch this video. What I wanted to do first of all is actually go through the specs between these two different scopes. We'll make a quick run through those specs, and then I'm actually going to take you out to the range, and we are going to be doing a comparison of these two scopes at the range just to kind of show you what it looks like. Now, one thing that I want to make note of is the fact that filming through a scope does not give you an accurate representation of how the scope performs. The filming through it is nowhere near as clear as what you would get when you're looking through that scope, and it goes with any scope out there. I've also got a video comparing the Arken Optics SH4J Gen 2 to the Arken Optics EP5 over on my channel, so you guys might want to check that out as well. For now, what I wanted to do, of course, we have the specs, and just to kind of go through some of this, guys, I've got them printed out here. Just bear with me, just to show you guys, just want to get you guys some information on them. Okay, in the Arken Optics, we have a 6x24 magnification. And then on the Vortex, we have a 6x18. The Vortex also has a lens diameter, objective lens diameter of 44 millimeters. On the Arken, we have a 50 millimeter lens objective. You can see there. The difference there is going to be the amount of light that is brought into the scope, and that's going to affect the clarity of your target when you're looking through there, specifically in low light. Let's see, we have an eye relief of 3.5 inches on the Arken, and on the Vortex, you can see the eye relief on it somewhere here on this screen. I thought that I had it printed out on there. There we go. It's 3.7 inches for the eye relief on the Vortex. And then, there again, guys, this is just information that you can look up. And I wanted just to kind of show you guys what some of the similarities and differences were. The tube size on these, of course, on the Arken Optics, it is a 34 millimeter tube. However, the Vortex, the tube size on it is 1 inch. Okay, so that is a difference, as you guys can clearly see between the tube size, and again, that's going to affect the amount of light that comes through that scope into your eye. But there's a trade-off with that thicker tube. The weight on the Vortex is 19.7 ounces. That's something that you should know, and I've got to flip over to the other page to get the weight on the Arken. So just bear with me just a second. The weight on the Arken is 36 ounces, so you're looking at a lot more weight with the Arken compared to the Vortex, depending on what you are trying to do. Both of these scopes have performed well for me. I will have to say that I believe that the Arken is a little bit clear, specifically when you get out to range at different distances, and in particularly in lower light. As you're going to see in this video, there again, we're going to go to the range. Not to say that the Crossfire 2 is a bad scope, but it's a very good scope for what it is. I like Vortex Optics. I have a few of their optics. If you guys are subscribed to my channel, you can go back and look and see that I've got a few different videos showing Vortex Optics. But guys, right now what we're going to do is we're going to simply go out to the range, and I'm going to show you guys a comparison between these two scopes out at the range. Again, we have my Ruger American Gen 2 in 6.5 Creedmoor, and we also have my Ruger American Predator as well in 6.5 Creedmoor. Again, guys, go back and check out those videos on my channel. But for now, let's go and look through these scopes. Guys, I have my Ruger American Predator with the Vortex Crossfire 2 set in my bog pod. Again, guys, go down to the description of these videos. I'm going to put everything down there to where if you want to pick up any of these, what you see here as far as the scope or the bog pod, it'll be down there. The timing that I'm filming this, if you guys have seen the video where I was doing a comparison between the Arken Optics EP5 and the SH4J Gen 2, I'm literally filming these videos at the same time. Even though these are going to be separate videos, I'm filming them at the same time to where I can reuse some of the footage. You know, again, you can see the lighting back behind me. You can see what it is out there. You know, when we go down range, just to turn around here, show you what it is downrange as far as what the lighting looks like, and that way you guys can have a better understanding of how these scopes would perform. But as I'd mentioned before in the other videos, as well as I'm going to mention again in this one, what you see looking through this video, what you're seeing in the video, the clarity of these scopes is much better than what you're seeing in the video. That's just, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. But guys, for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get mounted up and I'm going to show you the view through the Vortex Crossfire 2. Guys, just like I did in the other video, we are now looking at 100 yards. It's what these targets are. I'm just trying to get this focused in as clear as possible. Look more toward the center of the screen to see some of the best, I guess you could say, what you would see looking through the scope. The edges, for some reason, I cannot get it to clear up to get all of the vignetting out. That's just the way that this mount is mounted onto the scope. You know, that's not reflective of the scope. You do not see that through the scope, but it is something that I'm going to try to see if I can get it to clear up just a bit. That might be just a little bit better, guys, right there. We'll just lock that in. And you can see, again, we are at 100 yards right there. Now I'm going to zoom in on that target. Again, this is the Vortex Crossfire Gen 2. You can see there, we are at 100 yards. I do have the scope focused for 100 yards. You know, you have that objective focus on this scope, and it is set for 100 yards. You can kind of see how those scopes, or how it looks there. And again, guys, the clarity is not what you would get. There is some chromatic aberrations, I guess you could see, on the way that those targets look looking through this scope. Now what we're going to do now, I'm actually going to back this off just a bit. We're going to swing around and we're going to go out to 300 yards. Okay, this other tree line that we have down here. Okay, there we are. Let's zoom in on that. Again, that is around 300 yards. You can kind of see what it looks like through this scope. Okay, I will try to put a side-by-side comparison up on the video to where you can have them side by side. Again, this is the Vortex Crossfire 2, looking through the same range that we looked through on the Arken Optics SH4J. Distance is 300 yards. Is going to be the Arken Optics SH4J Gen 2. I've got it sitting on my Ruger American Gen 2, and you can tell back behind me that it is kind of cloudy, kind of hazy out. So I wanted to do this comparison during this type of weather, simply because I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably curious about these scopes to put on your hunting rifle or something like that, and this might give you just a little bit better understanding of what it looks like when you're using one of these. The picture that you're seeing here is a lot more hazy than what it is when you're actually looking through the scope. I do have the parallax set for 100 yards, and what I'm going to do now is simply zoom in and hope I can keep this to where you guys can see the objective. In fact, just bear with me because I see it going out and I need to make a quick adjustment for you guys. I want you guys to have as much relative information on how these scopes look as you possibly can. Okay, that looks a little bit better. So now let's continue zooming in to those targets and showing you guys exactly what it's going to look like. Okay, we are on our way to full magnification. Right there is full magnification on this optic at 100 yards. Okay, and of course this scope does have an illuminated reticle, as you can see there. Of course, it does not show up very well on that paper, but you can see it. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to pan out to a different range to where you can see a longer range view of what it looks like in this scope. Okay, now what I'm looking at now, I'm actually going to go over to a different tree line and show you guys what that looks like also. Of course, I need to make an adjustment on the parallax, and we are now headed out to approximately 300 yards. If you see these trees as far as how they are, and just let me back up the magnification just a little bit to show you guys where we are on the SH4J. That tree line that you're looking at there that I zoomed down to, okay, that tree line is approximately 300 yards. Okay, you can see the fence row that is behind these trees. I'm going to zoom down past that just to bring it up to full magnification. Okay, that fence row down there is approximately 300 yards. Okay, just so you all know, just so you can kind of see the clarity of it. You can see these trees. Again, we are at full magnification, and you can have a better idea of what it is just to see here. Get all the way out. Full magnification. You can see the trees. You can see what kind of detail that you see on them. And again, guys, you are not getting the clarity looking through the camera lens as what you would when you're looking through the scope. Guys, hope you liked the video. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment down below, hit the notification bell. Go over and check out the other scope review comparing the Arken Optics. That's might be something that you guys are interested in if you're trying to decide on a scope between these two brands, between those scopes. I like Vortex. I think they are a great scope. I've actually got one of the Strike Eagles as well. One of the big differences between this scope and the Arken Optics is, of course, the tube size. I think that does affect the way as far as what you get on image quality. But there again, guys, this is just the budget line of Vortex Optics. I like their stuff. I own a few Vortex scopes. You know, you guys go back and check those out on my channel. Guys, hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Check out all the links down in the description below. And guys, as always, we'll see you next time.